So we're going to touch on a wee subject here that's been quite a big part of my life. Anybody's ever been, anybody's like a coupon? Anybody's like to put the football on a Saturday thinking it's, oh, a wee 20 quid in the roulette? I'm going to tell you a story here how I won and lost £47,000 in less than 24 hours. So way back, about 8 years ago, I think I had something like 70 quid in my bank. And you know how it is, oh, I'll fancy a wee 20 quid in the horses, I coupon on a Saturday. But I didn't play the horses. I played the slots. I never put a coupon on, that's what it was. I was going to put £20 in a coupon and I started playing the slots and that on BetVictor. And then I put another £30 on and I started playing roulette. Now, I went with 30 quid or 20 quid in my account all the way up and I never lost once. And I was flapping, my mum stayed 2 doors away. I'm running away doing saying, I'm up to this amount, oh, I'm up to this amount, running with the phone. It was the Wednesday. So I collected £18,000 on the Wednesday night and I could not sleep a fucking wink. I cancelled the withdrawal, collected another £500, used £500, sorry, and then withdrew £17,500. So the very next day, when I woke up, that 17.5 grand was still sitting in my account. It hadn't been processed. And on BetVictor, you could have a bit where you could cancel the withdrawal. No, I don't know if every betting site's got that, but it's very, very, very dangerous. So that was the Wednesday. So on the Thursday morning, I cancelled the withdrawal and I started gambling again. And I was all the way up to £53,000 and I never lost. And every time I won, I just kept putting money on. And then I started losing. Before you can imagine the emotions and everything was going through my head and this, that, and the next thing. I was like, where does it stop? Where does it end? Right? So by this stage, I'm away. I'm zoned. I'm zoned right out, right in, engaged right into the betting. Nothing else mattered. Nothing that took over that whole night. So it came to a point where I ended up with 3,000 left in the account, in the balance on the account, and I remember betting £2,225 in one spin, and I spun it, and I won. And for there, I just kept winning and winning and winning. And I think I won 23,480 quid on Red 23. And I fucking panicked. As I says, every time I was winning, I kept putting more money on that number. After I won that 23.5 grand, when I spun it and I lost £9,500 on one spin. And I was like, whoa, that was a reality check. So I was left with 53,000 in the account. I used the 3 grand, I collected 50, I cancelled it, took 3 grand, and then withdrew 47 grand. As soon as I hit withdraw £47,000, that got processed into my bank. I was running about mental, thinking that I'd fucking won the lottery. It was a lot of money. It's a lot of money back then. You can imagine everything that I had it spent before I'd even got it. So nobody believes me. Nobody believed me that £47,000 was going into my bank. Hey! So 47 grand was in my bank. At this point, I was still staying in Campbelltown. Not one person, none of my family. Hey, back, come. None of my family would believe me. Everybody was skint. And my auntie up the road, up in Glasgow, we call it up the road, Glasgow. I had money because she was going to Australia, and she went, you better not be lying to me. So she left me £700 in a garage, and I went and collected it in Knightswood, and booked the travel lodge and everything else. And I had a meeting on the Friday night. So it was the Friday morning, we travelled up. I never had a penny, I never had a fucking penny. And I saved to the guy that I was playing in my football team. he managed to hire me a car. He managed to hire me a car. And in his name, and I was just to pay for it once I came back. So you can imagine I went up to Glasgow, I got the money out of my auntie's garage, and my weddings and their mum and that done the rain thing, and I went to my pals. But my meeting got cancelled on the Friday night, so we ended up in the flats, absolutely mad with it. That money, £47,000 went into my bank account Friday night, Saturday morning, whilst I was out my bin. And you can imagine what was happening. Money was getting transferred here, left, right and centre. My bank account got cancelled. RBS actually took the whole account off my app. I had to go into Anniesland with all my ID, and I managed to withdraw some money for them in cash. I went straight next door into the Willie Hill. I think I lost about 1,500 quid in there. Went up the town and just blew all the rest of the cash that I had. Rangers were playing Hibs. I can't remember if it was the start of the season, but it was the first game. But anyway, my pal had got me a ticket. So I went and got them a bit of the snow. And I says, that'll do the boys. I'm not on it. On my plans, I was going to the Audi garage at Braehead or whatever it was at the time, BMW or whatever. I said, I'm going to buy a car, I'll go to the game. I'll give this to the boys, I'll enjoy the game, I'll come back and we'll go car shopping. Or we'll go see the cars or whatever the next day. So I hadn't planned to get on it. I had that for the boys. Went out for dinner. The Friday night, no, the Saturday. And when we got back to the hotel, I ended up getting like 12 beers or something. Before you know it, the packet was done, the beers were drank, and I was back gambling with the money. My account kept getting blocked and blocked and blocked. I kept having to phone up and the fraud and everything else, fraud department in my bank. So the way I had to deposit it was 400, 200. Now, I know there's young boys out there fascinated with gambling, and this is a wee message for you. It's a fucking mugs game. Learn from me, learn from my story, because you don't win. You don't win. You might be up 1 week, but when you're up, it's never as good as it seems. And I lost. I spent about 36 grand of that back in to Bet Victor. 400, 200, spin, loss. 400, 200, spin, loss. And I remember doing that something like 25 times in a row. I booked a weekend away for me and my pals. We went to Ibiza. The Saturday night, when I was mad with it. And then on the Sunday, I hadn't been to sleep. The beers were drank. The dust was gone. And my kids' mum and them were away out. They were away out. You know, I'd put something like 5 grand into her bank. I had access to her bank, didn't I? So I took the 5 grand back out of her bank while she was away shopping. She was away shopping thinking she had all this money in the bank. And there's me, just spent £36,000. Mad with it, sitting in the hotel room in Braehead. And next minute she phones me and the care's declining. Care's declining, she only tried to buy something at 30 quid. Now back in the time, you just say fuck it. And you act like you don't care. But I'm telling you, deep down, man, it's one of my biggest regrets. Gambling, for me, was my addiction. Now, you hear people saying all the time that addiction is real. Addiction just doesn't have to be drugs. Addiction could be to anything in life, and gambling addiction was a big part of mine for a young age. And after that, after losing that money, man, I could have drove the car off Erskine Bridge if my wings weren't in the car. Honestly, I never had enough money to pay for the hired car. I had zero. I spent the fucking lot. And there was all sorts of rumours going about, oh, he's already won it, he already didn't win it, but he lost it. I even get put in by the police and questioned to see where the fuck did I get the money for? Did I ever get the money? Did I rob it or something? I was like, fuck off, I fucking won it and I spent it less than 24 hours. So that was a hard lesson in life, man. It was 47 grand, less than 24 hours, I was rich. So for any of you out there that think it's a quick fix or a quick fucking get rich scheme, it's no. You don't win. Gambling is an addiction. And there's all sorts of people out there and the stories, but it's not the worst story you've heard, because I have spoke to people about it, and there has been worse cases, and people have lost a lot more, including houses and lives, to be honest, through gambling addiction. So it's a disease. Gambling's a disease, and if you actually think about it and look about, you'll only see a bookmakers in a poverty-stricken area. You won't see them in the well-to-do areas or the big boat houses and stuff. You'll see them in rundown towns and in different cities of Britain, where it's the poor that gamble. It's the working class man that gambles, and you think, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do put the odd bet on, but I do not walk into a bookies and spend any amount of money. That was enough for me. That hit the fucking, I had to hit the nail on the head. I had to quit right there and then, because it was driving me insane. Like, I couldn't get it out of my head that I had it, and everybody knew. Everybody had already said that I'd spent it before I even had it in my bank, and said that I'd lost it and gambled it all, and then they say, I heard all the rumours that it was all fucking lies. Now, all my Wayne's life, 47 grand went in my fucking bank, and I gambled it away, like, without thinking. And that's the thing, you sit there and you moan in different times and say, I'm absolutely skint. But when you're an addict and you're gambling, you don't remember the times when you're skint. You're just so taken back by all that. You've got money, especially at a young age. If you're a young boy, you've got money and you don't care. About 3 weeks ago, when you had fuck all, when you were struggling, you had to borrow money. What happened then is you thought you were this big fucking cunt that had tons of money, and it runs out. Money doesn't interest me anymore. You can't buy me. I had an ex like that. Thought I was impressed by money, and I wasn't. Of course, everybody likes nice things and they like good things to wear and everything else, but she used to think she could buy me, but I'd be impressed. I'm sitting with a Primark t-shirt on. It doesn't impress me. I think it's because I've had it and I've lost it, and it doesn't matter the amount of money that I would get. I would blow it. I would spend it. So money doesn't bother me anymore. But I just hope this message reaches somebody that actually needs to hear it. That fucking gambling is real, and it's a fucking real addiction. And there's help out there, and I'll hopefully put a couple of links at the bottom of this post.